From the outside, everything looks perfectly balanced. A warm smile, confident steps, that familiar, reassuring presence that feels like an old friend walking into the room. Ben Shephard has long been one of television's most comforting faces, someone audiences trust, admire, and genuinely enjoy spending time with. But, as we all know, life doesn't always follow the script we imagine. Behind the polished appearances and easy laughter, even the most admired personalities carry moments of quiet reflection. Moments when the lights dim, the applause fades, and real life gently taps on the shoulder. In recent days, fans have found themselves pausing, not out of shock alone, but out of curiosity mixed with concern. A reminder that even those who bring joy to millions still navigate the same emotional landscapes as everyone else. Ben has always spoken about life with honesty and grace. He's never pretended that love, marriage, or long-term commitment is effortless. In fact, what makes his journey so relatable is the way he embraces reality, not with drama, but with maturity and warmth. Relationships, after all, are not fairy tales frozen in time. They evolve, they grow, they bend, and sometimes they quietly ask for patience. Those close to Ben often describe him as thoughtful, playful, and deeply devoted, the kind of partner who understands that romance isn't just about grand gestures, but about showing up on ordinary days, even when things feel complicated. And yes, like many long-term relationships, there are moments that invite reflection, moments when priorities shift, routines change, and two people learn to listen again, not just with their ears, but with their hearts. What fans are responding to isn't scandal, it's humanity. There's something strangely comforting about realizing that even the most confident figures face moments of vulnerability. It doesn't diminish them, it makes them real. Ben's story, at its core, is not about struggle, it's about growth. It's about understanding that love doesn't disappear when challenges appear. Sometimes it deepens, sometimes it learns new language, sometimes it simply needs space to breathe. And in true Ben Shephard fashion, humor remains close by. Friends have often joked that if laughter were a superpower, Ben would have it mastered. That gentle humor, the kind that eases tension and reminds everyone not to take life too seriously, has always been part of who he is. Because laughter, especially in relationships, can be a quiet form of romance. It's the shared glance across the room, the inside joke no one else understands, the ability to smile together, even when life feels a little messy. Romance isn't always roses and candlelight. Sometimes it's making tea late at night. Sometimes it's choosing kindness over ego. Sometimes it's learning how to sit with silence and still feel connected. Fans have noticed something subtle lately, a softer tone, a more reflective presence. Not sadness, not distance, just depth. And perhaps that's what truly resonates. We live in a world obsessed with perfection, perfect couples, perfect moments, perfect stories. But real connection lives in the imperfect spaces, the places where effort matters more than appearances. Ben's journey reminds us that strong relationships aren't measured by how flawless they look, but how resilient they are when no one's watching. There's also something undeniably romantic about privacy. Choosing to protect what matters, choosing to work through things quietly, without spectacle, choosing respect over noise. That kind of love doesn't ask for attention, it earns admiration. And let's not forget the playful side of Ben, the charm that hasn't gone anywhere, the quick wit, the easy smile, the ability to turn even awkward moments into laughter. Because sometimes the most romantic thing you can do is refuse to let life harden you, to keep laughing, to keep caring, to keep showing up. Fans naturally have reacted with warmth, messages of support, words of encouragement, not because they were given details, but because they recognized something familiar. We've all been there.
Moments when life asks us to slow down and reassess. Moments when love becomes less about fireworks and more about foundation. And that's not tragic, that's real. What makes Ben's story so compelling isn't mystery, it's maturity. It's the quiet understanding that meaningful relationships aren't defined by headlines, but by daily choices. Love is not a destination, it's a conversation, one that evolves with time, humor, patience, and honesty. And perhaps that's the most exciting part of all, because stories like this don't end, they continue, they grow richer, they gain layers. They remind us that even when life surprises us, there's beauty in navigating it with grace. Ben Shephard remains exactly who fans have always known, kind, thoughtful, and refreshingly human. And maybe, just maybe, that's why this moment has touched so many hearts. Not because it shocked us, but because it reminded us that real love isn't loud, it's steady, it's warm, and it's worth protecting. As viewers, we don't need perfect stories, we need honest ones. And this, quietly, gently, is one of them.